What's up, you guys? Pete Carlo here, Traders Helping Traders podcast. And today I have something extremely fun and important and engaging to share with you guys. I'm going to show you the exact strategy that is very simple, my exact script of how you can achieve these trading Tesla. This is in the past 6.9 months, performance 783%, which many people are going to be like, that's impossible. You'll see the asset is up 140%, the wins are 83%, and the losses are 17%. And we're going to explain exactly how you could trade this. It's a lot of trades, as you guys can see, and we'll show you some other ways as how you could break this down to potentially get a very good return and be able to rely on a script and a strategy as opposed to your own emotions, which are always fleeting. And on top of that, we're going to actually mess with it live and see if we can get this to take significantly less trades, but still have a really good return. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Pete DiCarlo. I've been trading full-time for the past 8 years. I have thousands of students within our Discord community, which if you guys are not a part of it, go and check it out. The link is in the description. And what I like to do is help people become consistent and profitable traders, the main way by removing emotion and making trading an enjoyable experience, not something that you're constantly worried about losing all of your money and everything. So we'll start first with the script. So for those of you, I'm not a coder. I don't use Python. This is a strategy tester that I use called TrendSpider. I think the link will be in the description, but you don't need this. You can use TradingView, which TradingView is great. You can use this here. But I like to use this because it's very simple. It's plug and play. You just press some buttons. And when you're coding, which any of you guys are coders, you can comment on this because you guys know way more than me. But you have to think of it more that like a trading bot is not going to just like create something on its own. It basically will take a very specific set of directions that you give it, and it will spit out and do exactly what you tell it to do. So this is a very easy script. The only thing that we're running is Heikin-Ashi candles mixed with regular candles. Heikin-Ashi is just good to find the beginning of a new trend. Potentially for trend reversals, we're running a money flow index, which is basically just kind of an RSI, but a lot better. I talk about this in my technical analysis mastery course, which is for free in our Discord. And on balance volume, which I talk about in that as well. I'll put the actual course link in the description for you guys as well. So we're running on balance volume, which is basically going to be volume, but in a line. So when we're pointing up, we have good volume coming in. When we're dropping, volumes coming out, or bearish volume. So money flow index, same type of thing as like an RSI, but a little bit more in depth. Now, looking at this, what we want is to be looking for when the Heikin-Ashi turns green and we get a confirmation of a green Heikin-Ashi on the second candle. And we want to make sure that the money flow index, or in this case, sort of like an RSI, is less than 80. I don't want to be buying, for instance, this here wasn't too bad because we weren't under 80. This was a winner, but I don't want to be buying when our money flow index is significantly over 80. There's just no need to. So as you guys can see, that's our entry. That's all we need. Trading doesn't have to be this hard. It just has to be linear and it has to be rudimental. Like you have to stick to it, your plan through hell or high water, through earnings or no earnings, because all of these things are baked into the numbers that you see here. If I decided to not swing through earnings, this number wouldn't be right. I might not have 3 quarters of compounding earnings if this thing tells me to swing through earnings. So you have to hold through the good and the bad. You can't try to be smarter than it, and you can't cherry pick it. Because I know so many people who try to do that and they get killed. So you can see here, as we look into the actual numbers a little bit, you're going to see that all of our exit conditions are simple. So the first exit condition is a take profit level. And you guys can see 0.05. And then you guys will be like, dude, what a terrible RVR. Just give me a moment here. So we have it set to a take profit. So exit if gained more than 0.5%. So I'm not saying, okay, if it hits 0.5%, take it off the table. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if it hits 0.5% profit, I want to close after that candle. And that's why we're getting better returns, average return of 1% instead of an average return of 0.5%. Because after the candle closes, there's a shitload of variability in there. You can see that if I were to change this now and hit run, on the right side, I would only make 65% returns. That's a drastic difference, guys, just by closing at 0.5 or closing after those candles close. So that's why it's very, very important. You can't be like, no, you know what? I'm going to wait another candle. All these numbers compound on top of each other. And if you don't end up focusing on doing it correctly and actually sticking to what you say, these numbers will not be right. Now, the same deal happens with the stop loss, okay? Stop loss exit if loss more than 3% after a candle closes. So if we lost 3%, we close after that candle is done with. So sometimes it might help us. In this instance, we took a 2% loss. Sometimes it might hurt us. We might take a 3.4, 3.5% loss. It really all depends. So in this instance, this candle actually helped. This is a Heikin-Ashi, so you're not going to see the perfect price here. But what you're going to notice here is that we actually came up, hit that stop, and then we tagged out here. So overall, this is a very, very easy strategy that you can stick with. But it doesn't just work within a bull market. So if you guys can see, let's just go back and let's test. Let's just do the past 5 years. Now, the number you're going to see here for net performance all time is going to be bullshit. What's going to happen is that's compounded, and that is compounded without paying taxes, which we all know is bullshit. So this crazy number you see here, that's not real. The real number is basically going to be your average return, 0.97 times your positions. So in 4.3 years, you would have taken a lot of positions, 1,476 trades. And of those 1,476, you would have an average win of 1.7 and an average loss of 2.2. But your wins is 80% and your losses are 20%. So this is very, very important to understand, because at the end of the day, it's not like it's just going to work crazy. You can see here, this is what our portfolio would look like over time compounded, which is obviously not the real thing. But even if we go back and look at how the first year of this performed from July 2019 out to July of 2020, you can see we didn't do too bad. I mean, even when, this is actually a perfect example, because this is going to go over the first 2 months. So back in 2019, this line here that you see, this represents the asset. So this is what Tesla did back on April 22nd, 2019. Tesla just sat sideways and then dropped. The colors on this line that you'll see, that green, that's when we're in a trade. So we caught a trade here, wrote it up and closed. Then we took a couple of small trades and barely won. You can see even when Tesla was dropping, right? This is not just it works in an uptrend. Even when Tesla's dropping, right? We did give away our profits. We were up 12%. Then we went to even. So you spent basically a month and a half doing nothing here. Then it went down and then it went back up. And then obviously over time, it just completely runs. And at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for consistent returns that you can rely on, because max drawdowns and everything, they're huge. And people can look at a max drawdown and say to themselves, oh, I'm okay with those returns, but a max drawdown of 20%. But the truth of the matter is, and this is why I heed a lot of people who come into our Discord community and join and follow my trades, I try to explain to them, like, you have to understand, man, like, you're not going to come in here and just make a shitload of money your first month. The goal, as you saw, right, we'll even look here with TQQQ in this instance, the goal from what you saw is realistically, your portfolio is going to probably just sit sideways for a couple of months, right? Like even in this instance here, like your portfolio shot up 6%, then it went up to 14%, then it went down 7, then it went up 11, then it went down 2, up 15, down, and then back up. So it's like you have to be able to withstand all of this, which is why it's not easy in order to withstand something. If you're going to stick to something, you have to make sure that whatever strategy you're picking, whether it's bull flags, bear flags, whatever it's going to be, first of all, test that strategy. And then second of all, and most importantly, you have to stick with that strategy for a long enough amount of time. Because as you can see, these returns are beautiful and you can see like, oh, crazy. But that's not how the first month looks. When you get the snowball rolling, that's not how this looks. Now, granted, yes, in July of 2019, you would have been sitting here doing nothing. But by July of 2023, your account would be nearly doubled on shares alone, outpacing at the asset on its own, even when it's going up that much. So now what I want to do before we hop off is figure out, for those of you who cannot be sitting here taking 1,400 trades in a couple of years, what are some ways that we can implement this in a better way, but get less trades out of it? And so what we're going to do here is change only one thing, and that's going to be our take profit versus our stop loss. We're going to have to make them bigger, which means our max drawdowns are going to be much bigger. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Let's see how this looks. So we're going to say take profit if we made 2%, and we're going to say stop out if we lost 6%. Now, this RVR is not amazing, but if you can be winning 80, 90% of the time, that's more than fine. One of the biggest things you're going to find when you're creating any type of strategy within your trading, specifically, even if you're going to be doing something that's just like Fibonacci levels or flags or specifically, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to understand that in order for you to have a profitable script or a profitable strategy, most of the time you're either going to have very solid RVR with lower, than average, or just pretty low win rates. So like 3VRs or 3-to-1 RVR, but maybe your win rate is 62%, which is not going to be fun. Or on the other hand, You can have something like this where your RVR is not the best, but you're winning 83% of the time. So for instance, let's try to do this and let's just look at how we would have performed. Let's just do like over the past year. So let's just see how over the past year and some change we would perform. So 7.6 months. Okay, it's not a year. 486%, which is still crazy, with an 87% win rate, which Tesla has just done nothing but go up in the past 7 months. So you do have to understand that, but we're still outpacing the stock on its own. Max drawdown 20%, which is a lot, but still. And average loss 5.6%, average win 2.51. So even with taxes, because this is untaxed, right? We're not going to pay taxes till the end of the year, we're still killing it. So I hope this video helped, guys. If you want access to all these trades, we currently have a Tesla bot in our Discord community. But what I'm going to do is go through, rework it, and I'm going to actually upgrade to probably this or something similar to this. So if you guys want access to that bot for free, go to our Discord community, go over to the free trade section, and I'll make sure to be posting them within here. Also, if you guys want access to all of my trades, including tons and tons more of these scripts, they are all within our Discord community. Once you're there, you just go to the upgrade section, and for the first month, it's completely free. You guys will get access to every single one of our trades. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you next time.